I'm Dr. Hanne Nielsen, joining you from Lutruwita, Tasmania, where I work on the lands, seas, and waterways of the Muinina people, and I pay my respects to Palawa elders, past and present. Today, I'm presenting an introduction to the PCAPs Horizon Scan, identifying key social and behavioural science research questions for advancing polar forecast information services. The Polar Coupled Analysis and Prediction for Services, or PCAPs project, which sits under the World Meteorological Organization's World Weather Research Program, is an interdisciplinary project that aims to enhance environmental forecasting services in the Arctic and the Antarctic. As climate change intensifies pressures on polar socio-ecological systems, PCAPs seeks to bridge the gap between the forecast information that is available and its effective application by end users. More specifically, PCAPs endeavours to improve the fidelity, actionability, and impact of environmental services in these extreme and rapidly changing polar environments. We do this by integrating scientific methods, approaches from the humanities and social sciences, and the perspectives of a range of users into polar prediction value chains. And in Figure 1, we'll see that value chain, which indicates how things like monitoring and observations, modelling and forecasting, dissemination and communication, perception and interpretation, uses and decision-making and outcomes all interact, ideally in an iterative way, where user feedback informs future data collection and forecasting, as well as communication choices. And that focus on user needs and services is important. This is not only about gathering the best quality data, but also about ensuring the data is available to use for those who need that in their daily lives. And that's where the service landscape, which we see in Figure 2, comes in, with the goal being easy access to desired products and services. So to date, 2 open sessions have been held in Hobart and in Cambridge to help identify challenges and opportunities across that value cycle. What emerged from the open sessions is noted in Figure 3. While technical challenges like data gaps and model uncertainties persist, the most significant issues that came up in the discussion pertain to human and institutional issues. For example, a lack of communication, coordination, and understanding between people, institutions, and disciplines. And this highlights perfectly the necessity of interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary projects like PCAPs that bring together scientific and technical advancements alongside research that seeks to understand real-world challenges and opportunities. So, to support this goal of effectively bridging the gap between forecast information that's available and that application by end users, PCAPs is currently conducting a horizon scan to systematically identify and prioritize key scientific questions related to the relevance, actionability, and impact of polar environmental forecasting services. The Horizon Scan is a project of the Services and Actionability Task Team in collaboration with the Impact Task Team, and it aims to produce a list of key questions to be included in an interdisciplinary social and behavioural sciences and humanities research agenda for the next 10 years, which will improve understanding of, critically examine drivers and factors affecting, and enhance the actionability and impact of environmental forecast information services for the polar regions. We sought input from polar operators, researchers, and stakeholders to inform the Horizon Scan, which draws on structured expert elicitation methods, a process similar to that used by the Scientific Committee on Antarctic Research in 2014 to inform that interdisciplinary research agenda. So that process included an initial open-ended exploratory survey, and that would be followed by a second round where experts refine and rank the identified needs. In that first survey step, we asked these questions outlined in Figure 4 What is the most significant challenge to improving environmental forecasting services in polar regions? What are the most critical bottlenecks? So what impedes progress in relation to the questions you provided? What will be the key societal outcomes, both positive and negative, if environmental forecasting services in polar regions are improved? And what research projects and programs, if any, are currently addressing the above questions? So collating the responses from nearly 140 entries into that survey helps us see that topics like funding, data quality, spatial coverage of observations, data storage and accessibility are all issues of concern. Stakeholder perspectives of the reliability of the forecasts was also flagged as important. That speaks to that value cycle chain and the importance of social license and clear communication channels to ensure user feedback informs future forecasting activity. And an analysis of the full data set of responses, including the specific questions proposed by the community, is currently underway. The priorities identified through this horizon scanning process will help guide future research, and we strongly believe the results that come out of PCAPs will help inform both the planning activities and work of the 5th International Polar Year. The PCAPs is an example where coordination between different stakeholders and different disciplines can help effect real-world change that ultimately improves human safety in both polar regions. By aligning research with operational needs, PCAPs will support improved forecast usability and address broader socio-environmental challenges such as Indigenous knowledge integration, governance, and adaptation strategies for decision makers and communities. So we look forward to presenting full findings from the Horizon Scan process in the coming months, and we very much invite you to join us either in our task teams or following our activities through the PCAPs website using the details here on the poster. Thank you very much.